Yo, what is going on guys, XHOUNDISHx here, and today Trials of Osiris has returned this week on the map Exodus Blue, which is a pretty cool and interesting map that we have had once inside of year 2 already. So I'm going to talk about the map a little bit and some tips for playing on this map. But the loot this week, if you're wondering, is boots at 5 wins and then the Doctrine of Passing, which is the Trials of Osiris auto rifle, and that's dropping at 7 wins. So if you want either of those, this is definitely the time to grind. So Exodus Blue, it features some pretty long lines of sight, popular for sniping from spawn to spawn. There are some kind of longer but narrow lines of sight around the map, and then it's all broken up by interiors and corridors and things like that. It certainly is somewhat tricky map in some respects, in that kind of you get a lot of nade spam in doorways, and the lines of sight that you snipe from are not necessarily immediately obvious, so unless you know the map really well and you're quite a skilled player, there's definitely some tricky sniper lines. But in general, people will engage the long line of sight on the outside of Zone C or the Zone C interior in general. So if you are sniping on this map, obviously you're going to want to be kind of using these pretty narrow lanes to targets, and most of them are fairly obvious, like I said. There are some tricky positions such as the top of the pipe kind of entrance into Zone C, where people like to jump up and get some head glitches and different kind of long line of sight spots that you might not notice straight away. So you're going to need to know all of these best you can if you're sniping, and be pretty confident as well to challenge those positions. It's definitely a more tricky map to snipe on in general because of those narrow lines of sight. There's not a lot of open space where you can see targets and acquisite them. You know, it's going to be kind of sniping through narrow spots, which definitely makes it harder against more skilled snipers in general. So the other thing I wanted to mention is that this map in particular is kind of in a lot of ways pretty supportive of shotguns in general. You can move through the interiors and use all of the cover in the map, like the boxes on the outside that are stacked up as well. And next to the Drifter map, I feel like shotguns are pretty effective on this map, you know, in a similar kind of way. Obviously there is kind of large open spaces and stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that you can use to kind of move and take cover around the map and get closer to targets. So shotguns are actually pretty viable on this map, and as always you need to play smart with shotguns, but that goes kind of without saying anyway. So in terms of engagements, again, in the map, like I said, most people challenge in that area around the C flag, but you can also get some pretty good pushes through Zone B and Zone A to get different lines of sight or flanks, you know, on the enemy team. And 2 people challenging, say, in the Zone C area, then 1 flanking around B can be very effective. Obviously that's just kind of some basic kind of ideas of how you can push around this map, but obviously you're going to want to be kind of confident in doing this and estimate the skill of your opponents and break up accordingly, again, because you can kind of use that cover in the map. It's very easy to camp orb, so if one of you goes down in a bad spot, it can be pretty tricky to get that res and kind of get everything back on its feet. So to talk a little bit about the heavy rounds, you can push either heavy from either of the spawns, you know, pretty quick. If your team is confident, then you can kind of split up a little bit if you want and push different heavy positions. It's very effective using different grenades on the heavy spawns on this map in particular. So trip mines and lightning nades on the interior are very effective, and you can shut down multiple targets if they kind of push up to the box early enough for you to do that. And then firebolts and everything like that are pretty good on the outside. So in general, there's a lot of ways to kind of attack the heavy spawns pretty offensively if you want to challenge that way. So heavy on this map is a fairly open-ended kind of engagement, and you can go about it however you want. And also it's worth mentioning that if it comes down to the capture zone, it will spawn in the middle Zone B. So there you go guys. Anyway, that is some stuff I wanted to talk about with Exodus Blue. It's pretty interesting, again, playing without the special ammo at the start. Those sniper lines can't be kind of utilized as much initially unless people do use icebreaker and stuff like that. So it does change the pace definitely on a map like this, where certain sniper lines, you know, are very effective and can kind of change how a first round goes very quickly. So that's pretty cool in general, but that's some stuff I've noticed playing on Exodus Blue. Guys, let me know down below what you think of this map and any tips you might have for other people playing on this map as well. And if you have enjoyed the video, drop me a like and comment as always. And if you're new to the channel, you want to see more Destiny content, then feel free to hit that subscribe button for a lot more. But for now, you guys take it easy. I'll catch you very soon.